President S.R. Nathan has announced that he will not be seeking re-election. He'll step down when his second term ends on August 31st. Now, Mr. Nathan, who turns 87 in just a few days, says age was a deciding factor. He says he does not believe that at this stage of life he can take on the heavy responsibilities and physical demands of the position. Our reporter Ho Yin Ni joins us now with more. Yin Ni, any surprises in Mr. Nathan's decision not to contest?
Well, Yvonne, Mr. Nathan has said before that his age would be a deciding factor. So I guess in that sense, this was to be expected. He had said previously that he was, to quote, suffering from aches and pains. Now, Mr. Nathan says in a statement that during his time in office, he has tried his best as head of state, and that if he has fallen short in any way, it was not because of a lack of effort or commitment. Now, he acknowledges that he no doubt has his fair share of criticism, but he takes them as well-intended and made in good conscience. Now, Mr. Nathan adds that Singapore is facing a new set of challenges and that leaders and citizens must be responsive to constructive criticism. But at the same time, he says whether it's in the office of the president or in government, Singapore will always need people of strong character who can resist populist pressures. Now, by and large, Mr. Nathan is seen as a popular president, and he says he will cherish his interactions with the public. He concluded by saying that it has been an honour to serve. Now, two of the potential candidates for the upcoming presidential elections have commented on the news. Now, former Deputy Prime Minister Tony Tan says Mr. Nathan's time in office will be remembered as one of wisdom and compassion, while former NTUC Income Chief Tan Kin Lian says Mr. Nathan has served with distinction. Now, let's have a look at Mr. Nathan's 2 terms in office.
I, Salapan Ramanathan, having been elected President of the Republic of Singapore.
On 1st September 1999, S.R. Nathan became the second elected President of Singapore. To observers, his 2 terms in office were characterized by the quiet dignity in which he carried out his duties, a reflection of his former career as a diplomat.
I know the limitations of the Constitution and what you have to do. I'm not there in a boxing match.
As elected president, he held the second key to unlock past reserves, and in 2009, that key was turned for the first time when he approved the use of nearly 5 billion Sing dollars in the midst of a deep recession.
It's not easy to say yes insofar as withdrawal of the reserves go. So there must be compelling reasons why we have to resort to withdrawing from past reserves.
As Singapore's chief diplomat, Mr. Nathan extended Singapore's reputation abroad, and in his interactions with the public at home, there was always time for a handshake and a photograph. Mr. Nathan was also a champion of social workers, having been trained as one. In the last decade, the President's Challenge charity drive has raised over 100 million Sing dollars for 500 charities.